So my project is called Codaphone, and basically it's a web app where the user can enter some Python code into this box right here, and it'll produce not only a visual representation, but also an auditory representation of the program in execution. So I wrote a little bit about my project here, but basically the gist of it is that it's kind of fascinating to me that we can represent programs in all different types of ways, but almost all these models rely on a visual element. So I felt like it would be really interesting to use sound to represent the execution of the program. So the goal is that when you can hear the sounds as well as seeing the visual elements as the program runs, the auditory stimuli will kind of enhance the overall sensory experience and reinforce the concepts that you would be able to learn through understanding the program. And I don't know if the sounds actually do add anything in this way, since that's kind of hard to measure. But even if not, it's still kind of cool to have an auditory representation of a program, since, as far as I know, nobody has really done that yet. So I'm going to run a simple example to show that. Yeah, so maybe you can hear that there's a different sound for things like creating a variable, doing arithmetic, getting the value of a variable. And so now here's another example. It's definitely a lot longer, but there are a lot of different things going on in it. So let's run that. Cool. So A lot of the sounds that I chose were kind of arbitrary since most of these things don't really have sounds associated with them. Like, I don't know how a list on appearing on the heap is supposed to sound like, you know, but there were a few sounds that I did actually come up with logically using different musical concepts. And the one that I want to talk about is stack frames. So there's this picture here that exists to represent the different stack frames in a program over time. So I kind of tried to replicate that in my project using harmonics. So similar to how a box is added in this picture at the time that a stack frame is created and then it's removed accordingly, I added a harmonic to the overall background sound whenever there was a new stack frame and removed it when the stack frame was removed. So that was kind of my attempt to replicate this sort of picture in sound. So over time, you can hear a stack frame being added or removed. And so there are some more intricate reasons for why I think that these stack frame harmonics are actually really cool. You can read about them a little bit here if you want. But for now, that is a very quick overview of my project that I've been working on for the past 2 quarters. And if you want to check it out, you can find it here at this address. So thanks for watching and listening, and I hope that you learned something.